This one has various stories, so pay attention here. Miki is a girl that will surely get a bite from her brother a lot. Well, stepbrother, so they are not related by blood. Kumiko will be the one that gets to ride the pipe in the second story and will have group fun as well. However, Chika, also from the second story, will not get anything, so sit down. Yuriko happens in the third story and she is the only chick in this, so of course she will get a pipe. Next is Noriko and her ride is actually pretty wild because she wants the hard kind of ride. But actually there is a reason for that, and the hard stuff is not necessarily her fetish. Or is it? Kaoru comes up next and of course she gets the pipe, but not in some boring place like the bedroom or something. Why not in the dressing booth? Tomo, on the other hand, does not get anything, so let's move on. Kotono is this one and she will get it in school during the night hours. Weird, why can't she go home? Don't turn off yet, despite this chick getting the pipe. Yeah, she looks like the nerdest of nerds. But once you know what she's hiding, you will understand. Would you do it with a bear? Not this kind of bear, but rather this kind of bear. She gets 2 pipes, once from a futanari. The first story goes like this. This dude called Yamawaki comes home from work all exhausted. Heck, he doesn't even have time to play with himself, that's how exhausted he is. But no worries, when he falls asleep, her younger sister Miki takes care of things. Yamawaki himself though thinks it's all a dream, so whatever. But it's clearly not, and after he realizes that, both go at it like rabbits for the next 3 months. But suddenly, Miki decides to run away from her brother. Why? Well, just like him, all she can think of is sex. She wants to ride the pipe, but fears that addiction, which is why she tries to find a distraction with a dude called Ito Akira. But when he sees that, and she finally gets home, he takes advantage of her, where she then reveals what's what. And since then, they lived happily ever after. She even told Ito on the phone that she was being taken from behind. I wonder what his face looked like. The second story is actually quite nice. We have this dude called Kobayashi Takashi, and he is some kind of artist. He goes to the beach to draw something until he sees this woman called Kumiko, a very sad and tragic woman. And no, not in a sarcastic way. But Kobayashi also has a cousin called Chika. But who cares about a cousin because he is interested in Kumiko. Once they meet and he wants to draw her, they get it on once she says that she is lonely. Her husband is, or rather was, a fisherman of some kind, and one day he went to sea but never came back. But she waited for him all this time. Well, almost, as it turns out, and after some other fishermen take advantage of her because they promised her to find her husband if she opened up her legs, well, of course, Kobayashi hears those men talk about what happened. The husband died, and when she saw his corpse, she lost her mind and continued to wait for him even though he was a goner. Not long after, a bad storm is threatening to destroy her home and Kobayashi wants to save Kumiko despite Chika revealing her feelings for him at that moment. Bitch, that was bad timing. But okay, I actually understand that she wanted him to stay put and be safe instead of risking his life. But what happens next? Well, it's actually a nice conclusion that I will not dare spoil it for you. Read it for yourself because it's a nice story overall. Next we have Yuriko, and she is one of those no-brain chicks. Yeah, she is dumb as fuck, and her childhood friend called Hiro tells us all about it. But hey, at least these two kids get to enjoy some fantasy action from time to time because they also know how dumb she is. The upcoming Sunday, she goes outside to do her own thing with a revealing outfit on. Hiro sees it from his window and immediately pulls her over, telling her the truth of the nature of men. The fact that men would wanna give her the pipe if she dressed like that, and yeah, well, I would do her in that outfit as well. Skirts always win me over. Whatever the case, he tells her to change outfits, and at that moment she uses her magnificent 2 brain cells and comes to the conclusion that if men would wanna pipe her, then that means that Hiro would also wanna pipe her. Of course, he admits to it and let the pipe ride begin. Noriko is a chick that seems very sad lately to Takashi. Both know each other since childhood. Well, when she was still in school and he was still pissing his pants. Takashi's parents mention at one point that Noriko's fiancé is not there anymore, meaning that he left her, and since then she has been depressed as hell. Whatever, Takashi is there to save the day. Once he wanted to return a video to the video store. Do you guys even remember video stores? Those days were awesome, and he finds her sitting in front of a bar with quite a bit of alcohol behind her. He takes her home, she teases him for a bit, he doesn't like it all that much, and both go at it like rabbits. But she wants the hard ride, none of that soft pussy crap. However, she wants that because she wants to get past the pain she's suffering because of her fiancé. She wanted that moment to forget about her pain, but in the end she finally breaks down. Takashi is our hero indeed. Kaoru is a chick that hates summer, mostly because she has absolutely no confidence at all regarding her body. I mean, look at her chest in this panel. She seems to have small breasts, but hey, that's fine. Some men like that, so there should not be a problem. And no, I also don't mind small breasts as long as her face and hair are beautiful. Her friend Tomo is quite confident, and based on the last panel, she seems to be one of those bitches that uses their friends to make herself look better than she actually is. Tomo simply is not worth the time. Once a dude named Kazuhisa enters the scene and claims to be a swimsuit advisor. Do those exist? What? He throws her in a booth to try some suits on. And damn! Look at those melons! She seemed to have small melons, but now look at this! Damn, son! But she still isn't quite confident yet, and so the solution comes in form of Kazuhisa and his pipe to show her how beautiful she is. And yes, she looks quite good. And with this, she gained a new boyfriend, more confidence, and got to make her best friend jealous. Kazu is a dude that studies a lot and doesn't get the point of festivals. Just a waste of time for him. Well, I can actually relate. I hated festivals when I was in school as well. Kotono is his childhood friend that wants to make this festival happen, and she is the only one enthusiastic enough for it. Well, not quite. It's just that she has a lot of time for it since she won't go to college and does not have to study all that hard, while the rest of her classmates want to go to college. Kazu sees how hard she works for the festival and is actually quite moved by it. So he caves in and decides to give her a hand, but they went far past the hours they are allowed to be at school. So she decides to hide from the security guard that was already walking around. Of course, it all leads to sex, and both wake up the next day side by side, ready for the festival. But Kazu learned the importance of living life alongside working hard, which is something he forgot throughout the years. Now we have the glorious MINISKIRT alliance created by these three dudes. That's an alliance I approve of. I love to see skirts, miniskirts, dresses in nice looking women. These three dudes are looking for the ultimate miniskirt goddess, but instead they find this nerd. Just look at her. Can she even see anything with those glasses? So what do these three do? Force her to the bathroom and shorten her skirt to a miniskirt. As well, take her glasses away and free her hair. Okay, now you've gone way too far, guys. But it does not end there. The leader of the three realizes that she's the goddess he was looking for and forces himself on her. And yes, the other two dudes also enter the fun. Yeah, this is a story where I actually approve of her suing the three and throw them in jail. What the fuck, dude? Finally, after all is said and done, she goes back to her nerd looks because she doesn't like miniskirts. Shame on her. Here comes the bear. Basically, she's a slave to this loser, but hey, she loves him so much that she doesn't mind. And she is a bear. But his dream is to be able to go to the city, and once he has the chance to do that, he simply goes and leaves the bear behind. Because she's a bear. Did I mention that she is a bear? And while alone, she meets a princess of some country that needs help finding an earring she lost. The bear, because she is a bear, finds it, and the way the princess thanks the bear is by doing the bear, because in her country that's how they do it, to thank each other. I wanna go to her country then, but only for the women without pipes. Because if all the women have pipes in her country, I'm gonna run, man. Whatever, futanari bear action happens and the princess invites the bear to her country, but ultimately the bear prefers to be a slave to this loser that returns to the cave. And she's a bear. That was quite a lot, but hey, it was worth it. Remember that this is from 2003. Almost 20 years ago. That's why the style is quite retro, but I don't mind since I love the retro style anyway. And yes, Yanagi Yuki is at it again, and he did a damn fine job here as well. The girls look really nice, and the pipe writing looks quite good as well. Never mind the typical censorship in hentai manga that I never understood. Whatever, the girls look quite nice and are finely shaped, and their stories were mostly good. Especially the one with Kumiko waiting for her husband was really nice. But then the one with the miniskirt alliance was... idiotic actually. Even the one with the damn bear was better! It's a bear!